Hi friends, welcome back. This is Uday. In today's video I am going to demonstrate how to implement DataGuard broker using dgmgrl command. DataGuard broker is nothing but it's a centralized server through which you can manage all the DataGuard servers, primary as well as standby. There are two ways to implement a DataGuard broker. You can use dgmgrl command, that is a command line utility, and you can use grid control, which is a graphical tool which comes with the extra licensing fee, but it has a lot more advantages compared to dgmgrl command. Today in this session I am going to use dgmgrl command to demonstrate this DataGuard broker configuration. To demonstrate this configuration, I have already prepared physical standby servers. I have one primary server and one physical standby server, and you can see the configuration here. My primary database name is Dell and unique name is Dell. It is open in read-write mode, and the database role is primary, and the protection mode is maximum performance. And this is my current log sequence number. And on a physical standby server, my database name is Dell, unique name is STD. It is in mounted mode, and the database role is physical standby, and the protection mode is maximum performance, and the current sequence number is has been applied. Now in this case my primary and standby is in full sync mode. If you want to know how to configure physical standby, then you can watch my YouTube channel. I have created a video for that. And I have one more server, DataGuard broker server, which I am going to use it to manage this physical and standby servers. So first of all, I have prepared some notes here. So first of all, if you want to manage your DataGuard broker configuration, you need to start the daemon process on the primary and all the standby servers. So to start the daemon process, you need to enable some parameters on both servers, and this is the parameter that you need to enable: dg_broker_start equal to true, and scope is equal to both. So it will start the daemon process, and daemon process is the main process to which are going to maintain your DataGuard broker configuration. So let's see, and this is start the process. So I am in a primary server. Let's see whether the parameter is true or not. You can use show parameter. You can see the parameter is false now, and daemon process are going to maintain the configuration files, and it is going to keep two copy of configuration file in two different location. You can see, and that is the location you can define using this parameter, dg_broker_config_file1 and file2, and these are the two files. So let me start the daemon process. You can use alter system set dg_broker_start is equal to true, scope is equal to both. And you can also see the alert log file. You can see the daemon process is started with process ID 22, and OS process ID is 13956. You can check the process. can see the daemon process is started and the process ID is 3956. Similarly, you start the daemon process on physical standby also. So let's move to the physical standby server and the same thing here, the parameter is false. Let's move to the log file. The daemon process is started and the process ID is 12.422. So okay. Now the next thing is we need to configure our listener file to avoid one Oracle error whenever you switch the database role. Let me show you that error. This is the error which comes when you switch the database role. To avoid this error, we need to configure our listener database global name with this name. We need to put the database unique name underscore dgmgrl dot domain name. Okay, so let's do this. So first of all, let's go to the primary server and find out what is your domain name. You can see our domain name is yahoo.com. So let's open the net manager. Database service, that is going to create and add a new database, and my primary database unique name is, as we saw earlier, it was Dell. So database unique name is Dell. Underscore dgmgrl dot domain name. And if you don't have domain name, then you can leave this blank, or you can put dot local and service name is Dell. Okay, so save the listener file and restart the listener, or you can reload the listener. Sorry. Okay, so ls nr ctl reload. Similarly, let's go to the physical standby server and do the same thing. It's in the same domain, so Yahoo. So here my unique name is std underscore dgmgrl dot domain name std. Save the listener file and restart it. can see the status. I can see it is listening for that database name also. Fine. Now the next thing is we are done with the parameter configuration file, listener configuration file. Now let's move to the broker server and let's create the configuration. So first of all, I need to create service name through which so that I can connect to the primary server as well as standby server database. So let me create a service. By the way, I have just installed the softwares. I'm using Oracle 11gr2 in all the 3 servers. In this server I have just installed the software. So let's move to the service. So add the service name. Okay, the now host name, the IP address of my primary server is 1.100. And the service name is Dell. You can test the connection. Okay, the connection test was successful. Close it and finish. Create one more service for standby std, and the host name of my standby server is the IP address is 1.1 192.168.1.101. If you have a DNS server installed in your network and if it is able to resolve the IP address with the host name, then you can just mention the host name of the PC. I am using IP address because I don't have DNS server configured. Next, service name. Test the connection. The connection test will not be successful because the std database is in mounted mode, so it will fail. You can see the message Oracle installation or shutdown in process. That's fine. Close, finish. Now save the file and exit. Now the next thing is we need to configure the configuration file. So here is the command. You can use dgmgrl command on the prompt and you can connect to the primary server, and then you can use create configuration command to create the configuration file for DataGuard broker, the file name, and you need to mention which database is your primary, and then you need to add all the standby database here. So I'm going to follow this step. Okay, so use dgmgrl and you can create connect and if you are unable to connect, make sure that all the listeners are running on primary and standby, and you can double check your TNS name entry. So here I'm connected, so let's create a configuration test 1 as primary database is Dell. So here I have created a configuration file with the test, and I have added the primary database Dell. Now I need to add all the standby database to this configuration file. So let's use add database std as you can see my std database is added as a physical standby. You need to add all your physical standby database in this configuration file. Currently I have only one physical standby database, so I have added one. Now you can use show configuration to see the configuration. Dell is my primary database, std is my physical standby. Fast start failover is disabled. We'll see how to enable it in this video later on. And currently my configuration is disabled. I have not enabled these configurations, so I need to enable this configuration now. So you can use enable configuration command. Now when you enable the configuration, it will start some daemon background process on both servers. Like you can see here, RSM0 process is started on a primary server. This background process is nothing but it's a background process which is responsible for executing all the SQL statement on behalf of data guard broker. So you can see it has executed all the SQL statement, and on the standby also you can see I think it is enough. You can see the RSM process started and executed all the required SQL statements, and now you can see our configuration is enabled. Now let's show configuration. Configuration is succeed. and you can also see the detailed information about each database. You can use show database Dell. You can see the database name is Dell, status is success, role is primary, and you can also see the verbose information. So database verbose Dell. So this will give you the complete database parameter informations and everything. We need to change the log XP mode from async to sync also, to switch between the database role. And let's see the configuration of STD. You can see it is in a physical standby mode and there is no error, everything is fine. And log mode we need to change. Okay, let's change the log mode so we can see how to switch the database role. And to change it, you can use edit command, edit database Dell, set property log XPT mode, sync, and let's modify for STD, edit database STD, set so properties sorry, I made a mistake here. So it is edit database STD, set property so be T mode, I'm sorry. Now you can see we have updated the log XP mode parameter. You can see so database Dell verbose it is in sync. Now let's check for the STD. Now we have changed the parameter to sync. Now we can switch the database role. You can just see the configuration. So configuration, everything is okay. Now if you want to switch the database role, currently you can see my database Dell is a primary server, I mean in a running in primary role, and STD is in physical standby mode. So you can use switch over to STD and it will perform the switchover mode. So we don't need to go to the primary server and then standby server to execute SQL commands. It's a very simple, a single SQL statement to switch the database role. And you can see the log file of both the primary and standby. You can see it is stopping the background process. You can see the switch over to physical standby with what it will do. It will switch the database role and it will send all the archive log files required to the physical standby server, and it will reapply, and then it will put all the database in a sync mode. Then the switchover process will be completed, and you can see there. And let's see the standby database log file. Okay, first of all we need to, if you are connected to the SQL prompt, please log out so you won't get any error. Sometimes it won't be able to kill the session. Okay, let's wait for some time and see. Let's move to the data guard broker server and see. Now you can see it is going through all the media recovery process. It is going to apply all the archive log files. And let's move to the data guard broker. Okay, switchover process is succeeded. Now the primary server is STD. Let's see the configuration. So okay, it's saying that configuration is error and the redo transport error for one or more database, because you are getting this message because still it is in a media recovery process, so it is going to fetch all the archive log files from the primary server and it is going to apply it. So media recovery waiting for sequence 21. So it is going to get it from the standby server and primary server, and it's going to apply it. Now let's connect and check again. Now the configuration is okay now, because it has applied all the archive log files. Yes, sure. So now you can see our primary standby database is STD and physical standby database is Dell. And in next I'm going to show you how to enable fast start failover. Fast start failover is nothing but it's a automatic failover feature. Let's say, for example, because of some reason your primary standby database goes down, automatically it will switch over to any one of the physical standby server. So I'm going to show you how to enable the fast start failover now. For that we need to enable flashback on both primary and standby. So let's go and check whether the flashback is enabled or not. So you can see my currently my database is mounted and the flashback is not enabled, it's no. And let's enable it. Alter database. Saying incompatible media recovery, so let me cancel the media recovery process and then I will enable it. Okay, you can see the media recovery is cancelled. MRP process done, and then enable it. And now you start the MRP process again. Process is started now. So I have just enabled the flashback. So you can flashback is on now. Let's move to standby. Primary server now. This is acting as a primary database role, and do the same thing. alter database. It is in read-write mode, so alter database, flashback on, database altered, so yes. And now let's also check the undo table space must have more space, and the retention policy should be bigger. So we can also check on prime view. Currently it is in management mode is auto, that's fine, and retention policy is 900. So let me increase the retention policy. So okay, my retention policy is 3600. Now the same thing you can do it for standby also. Okay, now move to the data card broker server and exit and connect again. Let me connect to the STD now. Okay, it's saying that apply service test is inconsistent with delay. So what you do, disable the configuration and enable it. The configuration is enabled. Now let's show configuration. Now everything is fine, all the RT are applied. Now we need to modify some database properties. We need to modify fast start failover target. We need to specify some database name here, so whenever there is a problem it will switch over to the database which we have mentioned here. So let's modify edit database del So if there is any problem with the Dell, it will switch over to the STD. Okay, so you can also change the protection mode from maximum protection to maximum availability. Okay, the protection mode is changed. Now we need to start observer background process. What you could do, you can open another dgmgrl prompt and you can write a command called start observer, or if you want to start observer in the background, you can open a terminal and you can use no hub command. If you are using when you start observing the dgmgrl prompt, the prompt will hang. So I'm going to start it in a background no hub. You can just set the parameter also. Let's entail. So it will connect to the Dell database and it will start the observer, and you can see the background process. And it is started. So now let me disconnect it. Let me connect again. You are connected. It doesn't matter which database you are connecting. Okay, and let's see the configuration. So okay, so let's start the failover now. You can see that currently my database role is primary for STD and Dell is my physical standby, and we have configured all the required things to start fast start failover service. So now enable. Fast start failover service is enabled. Let's see the configuration again. It is unsynchronized. It takes time, a little bit time to synchronize, so I'm going to pause the video. But you can see the status is enabled now. Now it is success, and now let's test this feature. Now for this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to suspend the standby server, that is my STD database, which is running as a primary database role, and we can see automatically the database role will be transferred to the Dell database, which is running as a physical standby. So let me go ahead and pause it. It is paused, so let's move to primary. You can see some so now you can see it is switching over to the primary. Take some time. You can see that our database is going to open now. So you can see failover succeeded. Primary database is now Dell. Now let's move to data card broker server and see that. So currently you can see my database, primary database is Dell. You get this error message because there is no standby server to sync. Okay, currently I was having only one physical standby, and that is down. So that's the reason we are getting this message. But the ultimate thing is our database role is transferred automatically to the Dell database. Okay, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.